India's defense expert Pravin, who needs no introduction, has shocked the BJP government and the Godi media, alike by stating, among other things, that Pakistan Air Force has established its superiority and dominance over Indian Air Force in the four-day conflict between India and Pakistan. Let's listen to him.
Good morning. Deputy Chief of the Indian Army Lieutenant General Rahul Singh was speaking at the FICCI seminar recently. There he made some observations and spoke of the lessons that the Indian military has learned from Operation Sindoor. It's important that these lessons be correct, otherwise the war appreciation of the Indian military can go dangerously wrong. So what I have done is picked up a few of the observations and lessons learned mentioned by Rahul Singh for discussion in the video. In no particular order, let me start with his observation that Sindoor was about one border, two adversaries, and then he added the third adversary also. So you see, when a senior military commander talks of one border, two adversaries, or one border, three adversaries, it sounds more like there was a combined operation, and combined operation is what NATO does. So it sounded more like a combined operation against India in Sindoor, which it was not. But Rahul Singh clarified by saying what he meant. He said that in Sindoor, Pakistan was the front face. China provided support in terms of military hardware, since 81% of Chinese or Pakistan equipment is of Chinese origin. Once again, this is insignificant because when you look at the inventory of the Indian military, it gets military support from multiple countries like France, Russia, US, Israel. Rahul Singh further said that in Operation Sindoor, the PLA provided Pakistan with its non-kinetic capabilities support. This is significant, but the most important and significant was underplayed by Rahul Singh, and that was that after 5th August 2019, when India removed 370 from Jammu and Kashmir, anybody who has followed what is going on between the PLA and the Pakistan military would know that as far as the two air forces were concerned, the Pakistan Air Force and the PLA Air Force, they started doing advanced realistic combat training. Now this is a big thing, and this is something the Pakistan Air Force could have only done with a trusted partner, which is PLAF. Because what happened here was that a new war concept through the exercises was validated. What the Pakistan Air Force told the world was called multi-domain operation, where it was not about a few aircraft, what used to happen earlier. It was about so many more aircraft, all data linked with a digital ecosystem supporting it. When you look at the whole thing, you realize that it called for extensive training of the Pakistan Air Force that they had been doing for the last 6 years, and the result of that we saw on the night of 6-7th May when the air battle was joined. And I have said in my earlier videos also that of the 4 days, this was the most decisive thing that the world watched. I won't go in the details here. And this is the thing that Rahul Singh completely ignored in his lessons learned of Operation Sindoor. So the point to make is this, that there were 4 things which were helping the Pakistan Air Force. And they were its hardware, its software, the non-kinetic capability support of the PLA, and most important, the level of training accomplished by the pilots of the Pakistan Air Force. And this is something that has to be put in the war appreciation of the Indian military for the next war that will happen, and that the war will be what I call a one front reinforced war. And this is what this means. What one front reinforced war means, I have just explained. So training was very significant. And it was because of the air battle and what the Pakistan Air Force could accomplish, that it's the geopolitical profile of Pakistan shot up. And recently we had the Air Chief of Pakistan Air Force, Air Chief Marshal Zahir Sidhu in America, where he would have met with his US military counterparts, and certainly amongst other things.
Dear viewers, I'm sure you must have noticed Mr. Pravin Sawhny speaks with conviction, in fact, genuine conviction. Dear viewers, now please listen to Mahua Mohitra from Tribute Congress, who has raised some legitimate questions about Operation Sindoor.
Operation Sindoor that was carried out with much fanfare, in which 140 crore Indians, including all opposition parties, backed you 100%, came to a ceasefire with the President of the United States announcing this. Was the operation a success? Was the operation a failure? At what timing was it decided that a ceasefire would be called, and at whose decision was this? The last thing is that today, multilateral organizations like the World Bank, like the IMF, are bailing out Pakistan with billions of dollars in the face of them doing what they have to India. We have either been completely unable to convince them, or Pakistan's just done a better job than we have. Lastly, you're using taxpayers' money to make another trip. We've spent what? Over 1 lakh crores on the External Affairs Ministry budget. Where has it got us? Even at the Shanghai Cooperation, at the SCO meeting, we were unable to get in the final resolution a line which said that Pakistan was being denigrated for these attacks. We were unable to get them, and yet Balochistan found a mention. With this kind of colossal failure of foreign policy, with this kind of colossal failure of diplomacy, is this foreign tour at taxpayers' money going to help us get anywhere in the global order? These are a few questions that you must answer, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you.
Minia Zabud Zainab Sarfraz Ahmad, Karachi, Pakistan. Ana Zainab Sarfraz Ahmad, Karachi, Pakistan.